So this made a bunch of people news, or a bunch of the news feeds. It's unclear exactly what the allegations are. Is this about the hardware device that's allegedly being made? Is this about? I don't know that Apple would have any special AI knowledge that OpenAI would be stealing, but it seems hardware related. But that's pure speculation at this point.
And I guess one question is someone who doesn't and hasn't worked in tech, kind of where is the line draw? Because I'm sure that as you have the transfers of people from different companies, among big tech, there's a lot of probably mild corporate espionage or whatever. Like, is the line drawn when it is like actual files and hardware? Is that like what makes the difference?
You're not a lawyer. Don't play one on the internet. But generally, if you're sending actual files or materials from the company, that can be a pretty big issue. It actually makes it really hard for designers because a lot of our work doesn't ship. And then you're like, well, I can't really show you this portfolio of things that I worked on that didn't ship. But speaking to your expertise or speaking more generically about how you would handle certain systems, not a lawyer again, but tends to be more of the above board approach rather than saying like, here's the secret thing we're working on. It's coming
right.
Like that's generally frowned upon, at least as far as I know. I don't know how it feels on the engineering side, Dylan. I imagine similar, but I don't know.
Code is commoditized, so I don't actually know how that's going to work now. I really do wonder. Like hardware seems a lot more. I can see the claims to it, but now people are going to be like, like I just regenerated it. It just so happens to look like it. Like it's going to be kind of hard to prove that. Again, not a lawyer, but sometimes I think of that of like, the stuff that I do can now probably be replicated really easy, and like we've really been zeroing. So I don't know. Haven't really thought about ownership of code, I guess.
There you go. So a little bit of spicy news to start the day. There's another legal battle that just broke, just hit Tech Meme. Meta was found in breach of the EU's Digital Service Acts. A preliminary investigation is found over the addictive, quote-unquote, design of Instagram and Facebook. It's likely to be forced to redesign both apps and could face a fine of up to $12 billion. So it continues a long-standing trend in tech that the EU is sort of the one enforcing the boundaries for better and worse, depending on the boundary they're enforcing at the time. But the commission said that Meta did not adequately assess the risks of its addictive design on the physical and mental well-being of users, including minors and vulnerable adults. Singled out features like personalized recommendations, autoplay, and infinite scroll. Those are pretty broad definitions, so I'm very curious how that's going to work.
Well, it's good. No, but I mean, it's good that 12 to 15 years into the social media craze, 25, depending on how you count it. It's good that we're finally cracking down on this.
Wait until they realize Arena is going to exist. Like when that ships, okay, if they actually like regulated that sounds good if they're fast enough. But if they wait 10 years for all the kids get addicted to gambling, that's going to be just what's the point? Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for Meta getting critiqued for its safety measures around kids, especially as a dad. I'm like, I'm not letting you in near those apps. Like, even YouTube Kids, if you want to call it Google too. YouTube Kids is still pretty rough because you could easily make new accounts and make things that appear normal and then aren't normal 15 minutes into a video. So down for that, but I don't know how you're gonna like personalized recommendation is so broad. Does that mean Amazon's in breach too? Because it personalizes your recommendations. Infinite scroll also
Google,
like
personalized recommendations.
Yeah. I mean, every AI is giving you a personalized answer based on your prompt, right?
Also hard, like all the OS makers have personalized things in the OS. So tech is in breach.
Tech is in breach.
And I feel like every entertainment thing online has some form of infinite scroll. You can have your YouTube autoplay for hours.
And even Netflix, it's like
Netflix would be like, watch this. I don't know. Like I agree with you where like, it's good to come after them. And I'm sure that the actual wording is much more forceful, but this feels very, I don't know, very vague. And it also just feels like they're probably policing things also based on political stuff and vibes as opposed to like truly like what is bad and what is good.
Common failure mode there, in chat, Kaikau said, it's Friday, my dudes. It is absolutely Friday. Welcome back. And that jokingly bring back pagination to get around the infinite scroll problems. Yeah, you could Facebook at the bottom could have like, you know, all the pages like, and then it could be FACEBOOOOOO.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine a solution as effective as the manage cookies button, which, as you know, has solved all cookie tracking on the internet.
You know what's funny? I don't know if this is just me. I don't even use like YouTube Infinite Scroll. I just go back to the homepage and like refresh it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like an insane person until I get something I like.
But I feel like YouTube is like the king of the personalized recommendations.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone's homepage is so different. And it's also like I'll watch like it's World Cup time. I've watched like a couple soccer videos and now like that's like popping up in like so it's such an obvious fashion.
The worst on over YouTube is if you watch some celebrity's interview, it will overcorrect for like the next 3 hours. Be like, you will have every celebrity news story. Like there's just certain valleys you fall into.
Right.
And maybe that's part of why they're not getting like, maybe it's not personalized. Maybe it's not good enough to be addictive. It's like, actually, I don't want to watch, you know.
It does seem to be device based though, because when at home on the big TV, I'm tend to be watching with my wife, and so the videos we watch are different. So it will recommend different videos to that versus on my computer. It's like,
it does.
You're looking for a long form podcast when you're pulling up your desktop, aren't you, bud? Yeah, you're right.
Because I'm used to like because cross device can kind of be a failure mode. You know, I mean,
for sure.
Who knows what you're watching on your phone that might then. Anyways,
it's the phone's a whole different story.
I just remember like pulling up, you know, in probably like in middle school or high school, like, you know, video project, made some video, uploaded it to YouTube on private as like a, you know, so then I like logged into my YouTube on like the class screen, and I was like, didn't like the fact that like Minecraft videos were now associated with me in front of the class, you know?
No, with my roommates, I pay for YouTube Premium or whatever it is, and so like mine's the one on the TV, and then they pull it up, it's like a bunch of Pokemon videos. Like, I don't really like, you know, we might have friends, so I don't need everyone seeing that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that is the hot legal news.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the EU, as we were saying, continues to handle the AI stuff, because again, that is in some ways the most personalized and has shown to be very addictive in some very harmful ways.
It's interesting because we've never seen the EU try, like the EU has settled into their role that Chris was talking about before of like kind of being the tip of the spear of enforcement, which means you get to kind of decide what the shape of that spear tip is, to torture the metaphor. Yeah. And like now this is the first time they will try to regulate like existential national security technology that also happens to affect people. Not in the case necessarily of this specific case with the addiction, but the fact that the algorithms, which have now mostly switched to like more modern, like sort of shared latent space recommendation algorithms, is edging towards AI. And it's not like the EU has not touched AI, right? There was the EU AI Act, that, you know, and there's more in the pipe, but this, you know, we're starting to charge into this domain of like full on AI, general intelligence that the EU is going to try to regulate as if it is social media. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
It's a weird reflection between the physical and the digital, right? We're seeing deglobalization on both sides, right? Deglobalize the internet. Very interesting.
And I also imagine with the AI stuff, if they try to police it more heavily, like, I don't know, most businesses don't care if Meta has to redesign Instagram. But if they start banning certain models, or if they start banning certain AI companies, I could see a lot of like businesses taking issue with that. And that could, you know, have much more like influential pushback than again making Facebook redesign whatever.
Yeah, right. When you're a business tool, you got a lot more stakeholders with a lot more political power.
Right.
No, it's the beginning, not the end, for sure, as Jacob said. Like, we'll see how this all nets out. But of course, I buried the lead a little bit. Obviously, the big news of the week: GPT-6 has arrived. You guys took a look at it yesterday. And I was hearing good things. I used it a bit this morning, but I don't feel like I have a good perspective on it just yet. So I don't know. Jacob, Dylan, you want to talk about what you found?
Okay, well, so let's start with just a little bit of like, in case anybody doesn't know, GPT 5.6 is like a new series of models, right?
Yep.
There are 3 tiers, depending on how you look at it. There are 4. So the main base models are Luna is the smallest, then Terra, then Sol. So they went for sort of celestial body naming, but it's really just like a t-shirt size, small, medium, large situation. Sol is priced the same as GPT 5.5. So we're expecting that it is although this is sort of opaque, that it is a similarly sized model, right? It costs a similar amount to run as GPT 5.5, but shows noticeably better performance than 5.5 on a bunch of benchmarks. Then let's see. 5.6 Terra is priced at half of 5.5, but shows comparative and sometimes better performance than 5.5 full, again, across a bunch of different benchmarks. And then Luna shows just below, and in some small cases, it can be, in some cases, it can be ahead of 5.5, and it's like a quarter of the price as 5.5. So in terms of raw API pricing, we are seeing, noticeable step change at the top, like a similar to like Opus to Fable, maybe in that range of step change at sort of the top tier. In this case, the price is constant, which was not the case from Opus to Fable. And then we are seeing cheaper ways to achieve the same performance as the previous state of the art from OpenAI. So as a suite of models, looks great. The benchmarks look great. The pricing looks great, right? A lot of things look awesome, but then it always comes down to like the brass tacks of what actually is the usage like in the real world.
Absolutely. And so I flipped over to artificial analysis, had a series of graphs on it running their tasks, and intelligence wise, you do have that neck and neck. Okay, Fable 5, GPT 5.6. I don't see Mythos on here. Interesting. I don't know if they consider that different.
Maybe they don't have access to full Mythos. I mean, you can consider Fable as a proxy for Mythos. I don't think there were bio defense questions on this test.
Probably not.
Right.
No, because it's the combination of some of the evals. They break them out further down the page. But so at Sol Max, like you said, you're competitive there, and then Terra Max is essentially their Opus aligned there, and then you jump down to Luna.
And I think the thing to call out on this chart is like those alignments in performance are not reflected in alignment in pricing.
Yeah, so right. Because the price
the Anthropic models that are like, if you go back up.
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's pricing. But yeah.
There's the cost. Yeah.
But they're, if you go back up, they're next to each other. So yeah, for all those like pairings that we called out, where it's like, Fable's right, Sol is just behind Fable, but it's also half the price, right? And Terra is just behind Opus, but it's also half the price, or even less than half the price, right? And so it's like that's I think the significant thing to realize.
Absolutely. And I guess this is part of what we'll like be looking at. But do you guys have any context for if I drop from 60 to 50, like what does that look like in a user experience? Because obviously, if 5.6 Sol is if it goes from 60 to 59, but it's half the price, obviously I'll use that. If it goes from 60 to 50 and it's half the price, is that like, I don't know. It is just a little bit of a pretty, again, opaque number of like, what does 60 mean?
Right.
But
yeah, and I don't even know how they collapse all those benchmarks they list in the subheading into one number, right? Like
it does feel like the sort of thing where like if they wanted GPT 5.6 to be first, they could have done that, like, and we're having so close. Like I'm sure the top
weight
5,
some other benchmark higher.
Yeah, I think they break out some of the individual tests down here, but here's your benchmark scores.
At least empirically, the thing I was like most impressed with, like, is the fact that it's not like burning excess tokens. Like the kind of intelligence per token seems like really good, right? Like when you give it a short question, it bails out, and when it needs to think, it will think. Like that has been like, was 5.5 felt very lobotomized over the last like couple of weeks. Was this feels very much like given a range of questions, it will respond well. So sometimes I feel like benchmark hacking is like, you got to run the models and feel it, right? And sometimes you're just like, whoa, this actually feels like really good. Like same thing when we were running Fable, right? Like, it wasn't like it doubled in intelligence, but it was like a good step up where you're like, oh, I'm actually noticing across a range of my tasks, at least a percentage increase that makes it just better, right? And then the same for 5.6. As soon as you started running it compared to 5.5, at least for me, I was like, whoa, it's like not being dumb. And that's like a huge thing. Like it just felt kind of intuitive. Like when I asked a simple question, get a simple answer. When I say go look into this, it actually ran for like 10, 20 minutes to get like a real good answer.
There's a good call in the chat that they did not run Ultra. So they keep saying Max, not Ultra.
What?
And Ultra is really like a multi-agent thing.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say is this just a terminology? Like, I guess they're saying graph high, X high. Okay, yeah. I was wondering if they were just like normalizing all the enums into like max meaning ultra on it, but I assume it does mean max.
But weird. Max is a distinct reasoning level on
yeah
these models.
Yeah.
In OpenAI's parlance. So this is sparking some discussion in the chat. September says the benchmarks are bullshit compared to when you were using them. It's over. Anthropic has won. I doubt any company will be able to catch up. Okay, so on the benchmark of September's anecdotal experience, Anthropic has run away.
Good to know.
John Doe says, curious they tested Max. Oh, we already talked about Max versus Ultra.
It is not my experience that Fable runs away with this, by the way. Like,
no.
They're very, very comparable. I find Fable is harder because you run out of money way faster.
Yeah,
like
so
I get one or
cost
two prompts,
has to be an aspect of this.
You got to factor costs. And even then, if you're going raw intelligence all the way, like Fable might have the edge, but it's not like a runaway edge. It's not something where I think Anthropic discovered a completely new paradigm and OpenAI is just coping. That does not seem to be the play at all.
Yeah, the fact that Sol is actually priced where it's at, it's just insane. Like Jake and I were talking offline yesterday about like what was it like going back a year? Like what was it like GPT-4 Pro? Like its pricing compared to like
Oh no, it wasn't 4 Pro. It was 4 Turbo.
4 Turbo. How about like wait? It was something like I wish.
So 4 Turbo pricing was the same pricing as Sol.
Yeah.
And 01 Pro's pricing was 20 times more than Pro or than than Sol.
Sol, yeah. Yeah, because like 01 Pro was like $150 per 1 mil or 5 mil, right? It was like very expensive though. Right. But the fact that was like a year and a bit ago now, right? Like 01 Pro.
Yeah, and GPT. The other thing we talked about is GPT-5. Was less than a year ago.
Yeah, isn't that just like the kind of takeoff in terms of your like as we're saying like cost has to be like factored in, right? Like I think more and more as people like as soon as this whole like consumption-based pricing starts and all enterprises start realizing like holy shit, I just burned $10 million of token budget in like 2 months, they're going to be like, cut it, right? And then they're going to be like, wow, this model is like 10 times cheaper for like a comparable, like even if it's like it's 10 times cheaper, but 90% of the output, they're just going to point to that. They can be like, what? Like, I'm just going to go hire 2 more people to just spam like using whatever model is like 90% effective and we'll like clear it. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Yep. So there has to be that discussion.
I think that's absolutely true. And Kaiku, I hear you on ArcAGI 3. I could find benchmarks for 5.6. I couldn't find Fable being benched on ArcAGI 3 for some reason. I don't quite know exactly why they're not benching it, but you'd get like this leaderboard showing up.
Yeah, wait, can you guys correct me? I thought there used to be a $10,000 limit on ArcAGI, or is that just cap? Like I remember seeing some discussions about that.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
No longer, clearly.
Yeah. So that was the whole debate was like, why is GPT 5.6 getting this preferential treatment? Because I thought ArcAGI's thing was like, it was supposed to be.
There's an official compute limit for ArcAGI 3, limit of $10,000 USD.
So basically,
and agents are given an action budget limit equal to 5 times the human baseline median action count per level.
So I thought they changed it. They kind of tweaked it like, oh yeah, like Sol is allowed to go with like 10,000. And then everyone was like calling that out today.
Got it. I knew there was some controversy. That's why we didn't lead with it.
Yeah,
I couldn't find Fable on it, so it didn't feel like a fair comparison.
Because it might have been that Fable had to run up past 10K for something like this, but OpenAI did whatever they needed to do to kind of like be like, oh, change this. So I think that was part of the controversy. 3 is measured in steps now. Yeah, sorry, I'm not fully up to date with what was happening. I just saw some discussion about it.
The conversation I could find on Reddit and such was that the strict data retention policy around the Mythos class models prevented it from getting benched, but I don't know if it's true or not.
It shouldn't prevent it from getting benched.
I wouldn't think so, but maybe it does. Maybe they're worried about getting trained on, I guess.
That does feel like maybe going forward, a more honest benchmarking of like you take some task, you calculate how much it would cost to have an engineer do it or whoever, and then for each model, like, because we're getting to the point where a lot of like tasks that businesses need to do regularly, any model can do, and so actually like benchmarking more on like, is this more or less efficient than a human, by how much? And I mean, again, I feel like this already does exist, but more tools and more, either if it's from the AI companies themselves or like these like some sort of like UI on top of it of like routing prompts into different models, because there's a lot of prompts that like you don't need to be using the Soul Ultra.
I think that's a lot of the motivation to have the much smaller version of the models, right? To have Luna sitting there is, you see this in enterprises and other places where there's a bunch of AI work you do that doesn't require a lot of intelligence. Transcription, summarization doesn't always require a lot of intelligence, as opposed to, hey, deploy this brand new feature and architect it and then come up with what we should implement.
Because it does feel like, at least from what I've seen, that we're starting to enter like the transition from AI being a kind of academic thing to being more of a business thing. And like a lot of the benchmarking stuff is like very academic in how it's run. And I feel like, and I'm sure internally there's a lot of this happening, but it really should be more about like, I mean, I guess the one you pulled up is like cost per task, which is like, but
starting to see more and more of that for sure.
Yeah, and but you have to combine that with accuracy or power or whatever.
And even the hobbyist community started doing this, where you'd have the super high end model architect it, and then you drop down a tier to do the implementation, right?
Oh yeah. I did.
So you might say, okay, cool, I want Soul to think through this, but then maybe Terra is good enough to implement it, or a lower thinking level of Soul.
Yeah.
Right, sometimes you're looking for that big model smell. Right? And you don't need that big model smell to write every line of code. You know, you need that as an architect. Same way that you have your $500K a year employee, right, do the architecture, and then your $150K your employee go and implement it in the trenches, right? It's the same thing.
An interesting one for me is I have the models do a world Bible for the videos I make and the sort of content I'm trying to make that's all housed in the same world. And I do find that you need the big model smell for take all the content I've drafted and update the world Bible and keep it coherent. That is still oddly a big model task, because otherwise you drop nuance, because the cheaper models sometimes want to summarize too abruptly, or they'll miss points in it. And the only reason I bring it up is it's this, we talk about it always in the coding context, but there are even written tasks where actually you got to keep all these variables in mind of who all these characters are, what their background is, what the location is, what do we know about the location. And that's still a very, very demanding task, as it turns out.
Yeah, that would be an interesting benchmark on like context handling, because obviously a lot of these are looking at like, can you solve a task? But part of that is it's like exactly. Yeah, explain Lord of the Rings to me.
Write a novel and then have it get assessed for coherency. Yeah,
but because I find that in my work where I have like all these different code bases for different simulations, and as the model's gotten better, it's much better at like going through everything I've done and picking out the pieces that are important and knowing what to like upgrade and what to keep the same. And yeah, so kind of benchmarking on like how it can handle a lot of context.
I feel like a lot of this is just like industry maturing, right? Like it's going to be all engineering problems, right? Like the intelligence is continuing to go up. I know a lot of people are like, why do we have AGI? But a lot of it is like, we're not even using intelligence correctly, right? They're like, given all these variables, like this is what engineering should be. It's like, how do you maximize? You have like this thing, that this price and this intelligence, this, like context being so important, right? It's like, how do you agentic identity, like in like the enterprise thing is gonna be a huge thing. Like, how do we give models like what it needs? Because all these academic things do as points of like, oh, can it like do this like bar exam? Okay, great. But now it's more like, okay, like how would it actually work? Like, how does it generate like GDP, right? Is a much more interesting thing. It's like, well, if it generates 50,000 GDP, but it costs more than a human, is it really like adding value, right? Like, I think we're going beyond like, this is provably like the demo is now moving into like, how do we like put this into workflows? And then all of that is going to be the interesting engineering elements around it.
Right. And as you're saying, there's an engineering problem. And then on top of it is a business problem, which is like, how do you actually think about like how we extract value out of these things? And like, how do you actually budget those sorts of, right? You like, we've talked on the channel in the past about companies being like, giving out infinite tokens to the employees and then pulling back limits and then pulling down the token leaderboards and right. But there is just like going to be some trial and error in figuring out how does a business efficiently extract value out of this technology. I mean, we're still on a journey as a society of figuring out how to efficiently extract value out of labor, right? That hasn't really fully been solved. So, it's going to be like a long road, I think, on those sorts of questions.
Yeah. But it's great that we're getting to that point,
Yes.
Like, I think this is demonstratingly proving that, like, the intelligence is real. And, like, we were talking about the flywheel of, like, you've gone for, like, 20 times less, like, cost for, like, nearly an order of magnitude better performance. Like, that's actually insane when you, like, see that on a chart, right? Like, no technology seems to be moving this fast. But I think we're also being overwhelmed with, like, how much change there is. Mm-hmm. Again, remember Turing tests? Like, that was, like, the gold standard. And now we're like, bro, if it's not like one-shotting my project and like talking to me and being my friend, like it's just a trash model. Like, and it's like relatively cheap, like I thought these models at this point would be costing like hundreds of dollars for like $1 million, 5 million output or whatever, but they're just getting cheaper. So I'm like, wow, it's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's completely nuts.
I mean, because I'm in it much less than you guys, but like I have the $20 a month ChatGPT. I use Codex. Like, yeah, I'll hit my rate limit sometimes, but like you can do a lot for not very much. But then you also hear the stories of like some employee at Meta like banging out $10 million in credits or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how they actually do that.
No, I'm
and they're all building a harness. It's always an orchestrator or a harness. I promise you. That is absolutely.
And on the year, I'm on the order of like billions of tokens burned. So you can burn a lot of tokens.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, I don't know, when people are talking about spending like tens of thousands of dollars a week, like per employee, I don't know what they're doing. I honestly have no idea what they're doing.
I think that was all token maxing because it literally was like your rewards are tied to how many tokens you use. So people were making like SDK, like basically like helper scripts to just like burn tokens. I think it would like generate new prompts to then run up tokens, stuff like that. Like,
which is like completely useless. Like no attempt
I
at
think there was
making
like
it valuable.
I think there are like open source projects that are just like token maxing. Let me go check this, but I remember there was like basically just like SDKs that were made to just burn as much tokens as possible. It was like kind of insane. Let me check those token maxing.
Another moment of 5.6 that was popping up was the claims that 5.6 Sol was used to post-train Luna. And you get some confirmation from OpenAI here. If my page loads. Okay.
5 Sol outputs or 5 Sol as like an agent doing the engineering work?
It's very vague at the moment. That's why I didn't quite know how to categorize it in our news segment. But it says automatically post-train. But I'm not quite sure what that means. Like, is that just the verifier? Is it just sitting there trying to say, here's the quality of it? They're being vague on it, but they're definitely trying to hint at this, like, we're on our journey to the automated resecher that they're supposed to have by, October or something? Forget.
Oh, because of AI 2027?
Yeah.
I mean, we're scarily on track with that one.
Yeah.
And then I think it's next year that was the decision point of, like, is it dystopia? Is it like war or utopia, right? Man,
I do like whoever just said that this is just marketing material.
It feels very marketing. I mean, look at these little blackouts, right? Like,
I was gonna say, I love the like pastel like redactions.
And putting redactions into your own post is like,
Is
this another OpenAI employee?
Yeah, this is a comms guy.
Vibes.
This guy, remember, used to be an AI consultant, and then he got hired by OpenAI. It's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting, like with the Sol, Terra, and Luna following the mythos and fable, how it's like, I don't know. Again, it's kind of going from like it used to be very like scientific or very, I don't know the right word, of just like 5.5, 5.6, and now it seems like the marketing is kind of taking over in certain ways. Which I don't know.
I think some of that is a reaction to the business world using it more. Like suddenly your audience is not just in-crowd AI people. Suddenly your audience is decision makers at Fortune 100, 500 companies.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more like OpenAI and Anthropic logos around like sporting events and stuff.
That's interesting.
You see like you see all the clouds everywhere. It's coming.
Yeah, officially on AI 2027, it would be January 2027. Agent 2 never finishes learning. And we're at the they call it the China wakes up moment. We've had some amazing open source models out of China.
True. And John Doe said in the chat that I never played a lot of weight in the 2027 report, but they just dropped a new 2040 report. I literally hadn't seen that as well. See that. And yeah, it's called AI 2040 Plan
watch The Terminator.
It's just a Blu-ray rip.
I mean, it seems interesting because like at least my 10-second top level look, it looks like they're saying, hey, we call this 2040 Plan A because it's what we think. This is the recommendation. This
is the best case scenario.
Right.
They're like, basically, I think it's something along the lines of, instead of just racing, if you just wait, like we might be able to like deal with all the fallout problems. And that's kind of cool. So I haven't read it, but thank you, John Doe, for highlighting that.
Do we want to talk more model releases? We also have another product release from OpenAI. Beyond work, we have the voice. What are you guys thinking?
Voice. Okay, here's my thing on voice. Go try voice.
Yeah.
Like, see what you think. I don't think
it was a clever ad too. The old interrupting old ladies.
Yeah, I don't think there's much for us to say about voice. I think see if you like it.
Is voice in the ChatGPT app?
As far as I can tell, it's still transcribing in the background, and therefore, also it's showing. Okay.
The and yes.
From using voice, weird. It does and yes, which are like fine, okay, as you're talking. Like, my main problem is often when you say something, like it starts this response with, "Let me check on that." Like, let me.
I always read that as is it actually querying a better model? Like it's trying to go get a response.
It's possible. I think it's just like it's also pretty quick, so it doesn't seem like it's not really buying that much time for something to happen. So it's either like sloptimizing for like time to first sound and putting useless sounds in rather than just like waiting like a fraction of a second or a second for like useful sounds.
Which, to be fair, I bet does do better with the generic user.
I also thought that it was I think certain things do, but if it's like let me check on, if it starts sounding like you're talking to Delta on the phone, like
oh man,
then no, because I started to feel that way. Like, what are you checking on? Like I didn't ask you about my reservation. Like we were just chatting, and so this is my problem. And I don't know, is that creeping in from like they're optimizing the product for like for that use case of like, okay,
my bet this is still related to the hardware device. This is totally related to the hardware device. This is going to be your like
that seems like a good.
It could be
like that. That's probably why
their enterprise pivot. I think there's there's definitely money been made in this whole like customer support automation thing. That was like one of the early dominoes to fall of AI human replacement. Even before this AI revolution, you already had robocalls and such. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to spend too much time on voice. Try voice, see what you think. It's like another now it's like the third iteration of voice, and they all kind of have their strengths and their weaknesses. And none of them are really as good as that original voice demo 2 years ago.
Right.
So So this is why I just have trouble getting excited about voice.
I mean, it does feel big for some of the like agentic business stuff if it has like access to your emails and like I don't know, there's like the true like AI assistant. But again, I feel like it doesn't necessarily sound very human. It's like what do you prioritize? Are you prioritizing good model and good results, or are you prioritizing it sounding like a human?
But it's kind of back to the threshold we talked about hitting, where only in the last few months have we felt like we hit a model with thinking on that could be a reliable daily driver where you're hitting that like 90% of the time. I'm pretty happy with the response.
Yeah.
And that's a clear step above whatever you're getting here. This is probably the instant, or like this is certainly the fastest time to token they can get. And so it always feels like the reason I don't use voice is its responses are lower quality because it's clearly optimizing for speed and I can feel it in its response. So maybe in 2 years, we're sitting there saying, well, hey, now we're getting, 5.6 soul level responses at that speed, kind of per that like token cost going down. Maybe the speed goes up. We get some kind of hardware generational leap. Then I'm in. But I feel like I'm making a hard trade-off now in the ChatGPT app when I use voice mode. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to talk to the dumber but more Adderalled up model.
And to that point, I see like reels. Like I think this creator, it's probably called like GPT or something. And like his joke is like he's just like a normie who like speaks like ChatGPT. So they'll ask a question. He's like, great idea, and then he'll just like preamble for like 20 seconds, and then the whole skit is always like, what the fuck are you saying? But I think even everyone knows that like the voice mode is worse, right?
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know what they're maximizing. That's why I liked your point, Jacob. Like, and Chris, is it for hardware? Is it for something? Is it just like, eat a bit of the pie of like the voice mode stuff?
And I think they are optimizing for like the best audio interface for your computer.
Yeah,
sort of
there
thing.
has to be like a long-term
they are optimizing, and this is why I think, Chris, you're right about the hardware optimization, where it's really it's not just necessarily about their hardware product, but it's like, okay, even if you're using ChatGPT or Work or whatever product, whatever OpenAI product on non-OpenAI hardware, they're optimizing for, okay, you don't have to type anymore. Now you can do this, which is, I get it. And I hate typing, so I get it. I just think that like, I am constantly like, I was blown away by the 4.0 voice demo 2 years ago, where Mira Murati was explaining collapsing three model pipeline into one model. And we just haven't had that in a long time. And so things where voice could open up new capabilities. I think this is where I'm frustrated. I love when multimodality opens up new capabilities. And so I am less excited about replacing existing capabilities with a new input modality, as in I can have ChatGPT do the things I would do before, but now with voice in maybe a slightly more fluid way, as opposed to, now ChatGPT voice can be my dialect coach or teach me how to sing or listen to me play piano and give me pointers they're totally, not only are they not optimizing for that, they are sacrificing that.
Yeah, right.
Well,
they did show the language learning demo though. They're remember their promises, but they're not making them. Yeah.
Right, but here's the thing. They showed the language learning demo. What they didn't mention is, as far as I can tell, the new voice mode has no idea how good your pronunciation is. Zero.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because as far as I can tell, they are transcribing it to text before the model answers.
Yeah. Dude, this makes me realize, like, whatever happened to multimodality? Do you reckon the next class, like GPT-6 Plus, is going to be like, and we're back to multimodality and we've solved all the like efficiency problems?
No, I don't reckon.
You think it's going to just like continue being siloed?
I think it's collapsing into the Omni model ended up being harder than they thought. Remember, they wanted to do it last spring, and then they pushed it to the summer, and then to the fall, and then that was going to be GPT-5, and they didn't really fully do it with GPT-5, and then the focus was on the router, and then they kind of walked back from the router, and it's harder than they thought. It's harder than, it's cool to see the glimmers of the technology, right? Like, clearly, based on that initial audio demo, they can do a truly multimodal audio model, but I think it's partially it was too difficult to actually collapse it without sacrificing other capabilities, and then on top of that, it adds all these other risks. Like, is it going to regurgitate a song, and now we're in a big lengthy law thing with Universal Music Group, and it's okay, let's get rid of it. But then for me, on the technology purist angle, I'm like, give me the tech,
Yeah. I guess a few things. One, like, there already is the use of like, you do your own text to speech and then the model types and replies. Like, that already covers a lot of the use cases. And
I use that so often.
It's so nice for train of thought. Someone just mentioned this in the chat about back to like the Apple suing OpenAI. I do wonder if maybe it's something to do with Siri. I feel like that would be the one, based on our conversation, one of the things where like Apple would have a real like potential leg up right now. And that could be like, I don't know. That's my prediction that the lawsuit's about Siri.
Interesting, because I do think Apple's been trying to make Siri more like OpenAI's technology, so that'd be a little hairy if they tried to.
That's fair, but I do feel like the voice of Siri has been very well optimized in certain ways.
If I was rampantly speculating, I would say, hey, what were some of these prototypes for hardware that you guys didn't ship where you learned some
AirPods?
Yeah, AirPods. That sort of stuff. But
okay,
not a lawyer. Don't put on the internet. Don't have any special knowledge. Don't come for me. But that would be my guess. I would be guessing hardware related, but it's pure speculation on my end. Just because if Siri has some secret sauce, they have done nothing to show it. They have not even hinted at it.
I'm constantly surprised at how awful Siri still is.
Too true.
Like, I was like, what's the weather? And then I was like, Like, how long is it? I forget. It's like some follow-up question. It just like fell apart. I was just like, oh no.
I hear you. I might have to hand off, gents. I got Grandpa visiting. He arrived a little earlier than I thought, so we got some family in town. The only news I was going to cover still was we still have Muse Spark, which is notable because Facebook closed sourced this one. So they released a closed source model, and then Grok 4.5 has shipped as well. But also down if you guys want to just jump into demos. I think 5.6 is what the people want.
Yeah.
Should we jump? I think jump to demos.
I think it's demo time.
Yeah, demo time. Let's do that.
All right, Jen. Sorry to leave early. Have a fantastic weekend, folks.
See you, Chris. Tell Grandpa I say hi.
Will do.
Alrighty. So I've pre-ran a bunch of prompts. Dylan, what do you think I have queued up first?
Planet. Too easy.
So is this Terra or Sol?
This is so. Okay, so the planet is Terra, but it was written by. I don't even know if Sol is the right word. So this was all done in the chat client. These are our like one-shot HTML tests, and this was 5.6 Pro, whatever that means behind the scenes. This was the max available. Dylan is skeptical about the planet.
No. Wait. ChatGPT, like the app now says 5.6 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Interesting.
No. We've had Pro models for like a long time.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't matter. Like I'll quickly check. Like I don't know why they're doing that. Is that to route when Sol's getting like slammed that they'll like downvote it, or is like it is a separate model?
Well, it's either a separate model or a separate reasoning mode on Sol. But whatever it is, it's a continuation of the only available on the Pro tier, the best model that thinks for an hour or whatever.
Okay.
And frankly, after an hour of thinking, I was not blown away by this planet.
Whelmed.
I was thoroughly whelmed. Yeah, I can't even really see if the water's moving at all.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, and this is like, and the UI is the old UI. You know, like they were showing in Sol, Terra, like that they were starting to be like, it's not the same UI, guys. Like, and this is like very 5.5 coded, you know?
Uh-huh. John Doe said there's a Pro model. So yeah, in ChatGPT, there's a Pro model. And it is 5.6 Pro, or at least that's how they're marketing it, because if you go to the model selector, it shows like, you know, from like light reasoning up through, then it's like, I think Ultra or Max. I think Ultra is only maybe in Codex. And then it says, and then Pro is its own thing. And then Instant has parens and says Instant is still 5.5. So they explicitly call out that Instant is still 5.5. Don't call it anything on the Pro setting. So, and the 5.5 Pro, you could choose between standard and extended reasoning. There are no choices for 5.6 Pro. It's just Pro.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is what we got here. I think I was definitely whelmed by this one.
Yeah.
I think just like base visually, I still don't know if we've seen a planet that just in terms of like not like technical prowess or like impressiveness, but just on how nice it looked to look at.
Yeah.
I still think GPT-5 is the nicest planet to look at. But the hope would be that this is a good foundation for our challenge mode, which is where we pay more attention these days anyway. And so before we do that, I can just look and see. I'm not seeing like the classic polar pinching.
Yep. Looks fine.
And the lighting's solid. The atmosphere's like fine. It's, you know.
And to be fair, like Fable had something similar, right? When we were playing with it. It was pretty whelmed. Like it wasn't anything like hugely different or hugely better. So this is probably like the same thing. It could just be maybe they like for HTML, they've kind of like post fine tuned to be like, don't go absolutely crazy, you know, like push back and like make something else. So could just be a limit of our test in that sense. And that's why we put more emphasis on challenge mode. But yeah, this seems like Fable level, and both of them were like not incredibly different. I think a lot of people assume like, yeah, like these models are going to like one shot Earth. Like I see a lot of people be like, it ran for 24 hours and made Manhattan. I was like, cool, you just burned $10,000. Like, so yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So then I did, I also pre-ran challenge mode on this one. So for those who don't know, challenge mode is basically just we ask to turn the planet renderer into like a full game. And actually our challenge mode has sort of crept up over time. So it used to just be running around on one planet. You could like craft some stuff. In the past couple model releases, we've had like full stories happening across multiple planets in the solar system. And so that's what I asked for this time. I asked to use this as a base and build sort of a full lotted sandbox sci-fi game with like storylines and multiple planets in a solar system and everything. And I haven't.
For context, how long did like this take to generate?
It was like an hour.
And what was the other one?
I think it was like another hour.
Yeah,
in that ballpark, plus or minus 10 minutes.
Wait, did you say this procedural planet took 1 hour and it got this HTML result?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's because pro is like always gonna think that long.
Okay. So they just kind of like artificially make it just spin on tokens.
I think I'm not sure. know.
That's right.
Actually 5.5 Pro was often somewhat quicker than whatever the previous Pro model was. Anyways. Okay. So then I haven't even seen this yet, but this is Planetfall. They all the models go for Planetfall. I'm the last field cartographer of the Atlas Initiative. I have to survive 5 procedural worlds, rebuild the navigation lattice, and discover why every colony signal went silent.
Ooh.
Mystery. And MMA Hawk in chat asked for a first-person sci-fi horror game. I'm not sure if this will be horror, but we have survival. If we have some time, we can get to.
It would be interesting, unlike what he's saying, to give it a more vague prompt and see what direction it goes. If it just goes to like the average of every horror game.
Right. Okay, we're gonna begin a new expedition.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm already concerned that we are no longer on a planet.
What's
very pastel?
4 fiber, 4 stone, and 3 wood.
I picked up some glow berries.
Dude, interesting little. We got health and a lot of other stuff going on.
We do. We have health, stamina, oxygen, hunger, thirst, and thermal.
And some sort of inventory at the bottom.
The water is biome discovered. Water
biome.
The water is. This is like a classic failure where there's like no actual water, just colored the seafloor blue.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's frozen.
The props look like trash. This is like a super disappointing result.
Could you run backwards? Did the shadow just pop in? Like for that?
Oh,
tree?
probably. There's probably a shadow render.
Yeah, I thought
distance.
I saw. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I thought I did see it pop in. No, must be wrong.
I have a field. Oh, it started me with some stuff in my inventory. I have a field ration, purified water. It did seem to focus on making a full game. My concern again is that like I'm like fairly certain now that it switched to like Minecraft Flat World instead of keeping the planet. This is Fable did this too, to be fair.
Yep.
But it's like concerning to me that both Fable and Soul
5.6
Pro are doing the same failure mode where they're like,
this is like not alignment, right?
We've never seen this before, right? It's not that like the prompt I sent wasn't specific enough, right? It's an alignment problem, and it's like a real problem. This is like back to AI 2027 that like alignment would start to like break down right about now, and like does kind of seem to be happening. And this is an innocuous version of like an alignment breakdown.
Yeah, like this, whatever. But like, kind of. I guess you can kind of like shorthand it away to be like, oh, it's just because it's gaming, But like, you're right. Like, how can we trust it if it's just so obvious? Like, the whole point is to keep the implementation. Like stay on a planet.
And like, and specifically, like, oh, now it's like a multi-planet solar system, and previous models. And John Doe did say like that it's not as like it's not as squashed. There are parts of this result that are better than we've seen in the past. Or not better, but at least competitive, but where it's like it's coherent. I'm the right size compared to the props, right? Like there's not a lot of like sort of scale or morphing weirdness going on, but but it's just like it failed at like the core premise of the prompt, which was like sort of upsetting.
John Doe does make a good point in chat, which is I'm curious if there's thinking that in real games planets aren't normally planets. Also, the OG planet renders are normally too small to be actual maps. Something to be said for that. You know, maybe it's signed to be like, hey, like I need to make this as a proper game, so I need to take proper gaming decisions. So it's true. But then at the same time, this is still at least some kind of alignment problem, right? Because we're explicitly saying, hey, like disregard this. Like I think eventually like models, like at least what I was seeing with Soul is like it would do a good job pushing back. I was like, I think this is broken. It's like, actually, this is broken. So I think if you do this, it'll work. And if it's, you know, wanted to do that, instead of thinking for an hour, it could be like, brother, I don't think it's going to work if we make these planets. I propose doing this. Does that sound okay?
Right.
You know, that feels more aligned, right? If it said that before it goes, like it just says that after like 2 minutes of thinking, as opposed to an hour later, it's like, I did what you asked and it didn't, you know? But it's a great point, John, like that. Yeah, it could be trying to take that like creative liberty of like, if we keep it a planet, we're going to run into all these problems.
Yeah,
exactly. The day a model comes back and says, the planet we made in phase 1 is too small for this, do you want? Exactly, right? Like that will be like the gold standard. And that's like getting a lot more towards like, I know AGI is like a very like, you know, whimsical kind of like, you know, goalpost always moving, but that starts to feel more like something that's like truly being like, hey, like I'm finding this balance between when to be like, you know, go do what the like person says versus, hey, like you're asking for a car, not a horse, a fast horse, whatever. Like I know what you asked for and I'll be explicit that I think this is wrong and this is what you should do. And then you can still override it, right? Being a human or whatever, but we'll see. And the UI is still 5.5, you know? It's still kept that top left corner, top right corner. Like this looks kind of indiscernible to 5.5 for me.
Oh, on the UI, yeah, I agree.
And it's not particularly like video game-esque.
The UI?
The UI.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit more like startup-y.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Because that's why I thought they, on the 5.6 page, they showed a lot of games and they're like, look at how the UI is. Like, it's different, guys.
Yeah.
So
and again, like how much are you expected to iterate? Like, I'm sure that if you had unlimited tokens and time, you could like improve upon this. Like, this is not a bad like starting point. Like, what are they promising for like first pass?
Yeah, I don't know. This is because I've seen like people start to use like Blender and stuff like that, where it's kind of like, hey, if it can computer use and like go do other things and then make something better. Again, like maybe that's where they want people to go, but then they kind of need to make that more explicit, right? Again, it comes back to understanding what the user wants. Kai Kao in chat was saying, try the old school staple diffusion tricks of cinematic 4K HDR masterpiece. That's so
right. I also like the point of, are we just like running out of the effectiveness of a single HTML file? Like,
yeah, that was John Doe. I think that yes,
that's not how games are built.
There is some truth to that, and then yet we've seen some incredibly impressive single HTML file results, and it does test a different thing, right? They end up having to do like JavaScript code golf, you know, but just, you know, I mean, I think at least for this one, the fact that we've seen our complaints have been addressed in other models in a single HTML file, right?
Yeah.
So,
whelmed as well on this one.
I mean, I am impressed that like it did spend a lot of, the prompt did put some emphasis on like have a bunch of gameplay and like progression and stuff, and it did clearly put a bunch of emphasis onto that. There's like a quest for me to follow, you know, there's things for me to craft. I'm actually not sure what I have to craft. Survey circuit. Can I make it? So like some of the things are nice. Like the UI is functional. Like
it's giving you like you're like 600 meters away from your goal. It doesn't tell you what direction it's in, I don't think.
I guess I can figure it out, right? Okay, it's this way.
Oh wait, because it's giving you a little like like right, left. But anyways,
all right. Do we have any of the pre-queued stuff?
Oh yeah. Okay. So we also have. I'll just save it in case we want to come back.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have the city. our city prompt where we asked for a city simulation.
I was just saying, whoa, like first pass, I was like, oh, it's not bad. Let's go.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think like the actual layout's pretty good. It's interesting this look that it went for. It's like dark mode.
Oh yeah,
Gotham City.
Yeah, I mean it does have sort of like some.
Oh, there are cars.
Yeah, there are cars that are almost impossible to see.
I mean, was this just some like issue with? I don't know. This feels.
Yeah, it does feel like an issue.
A lot of street signs.
I think there's supposed to be street lights, but
Yeah.
still many of them.
Yeah.
And so I actually do like the layout of this. Like, I think the layout is good.
Yeah.
It's just like quite hard to see. The sandbox features are also quite good. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
You know, I can like build buildings, right? And then I can also like select existing buildings, inspect them over here. It did do events and disasters. So like this was visually, it's not what I wanted, but what I was impressed about is, we've been doing this city prompt for over a year, right? Almost 2 years probably.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, we've like missed a lot of functionality, right?
Yep.
From the prompt. And this might be the first model that I think actually got all of the functionality.
Yeah.
With the exception of no visible NPCs, which I don't think is specifically stated in the prompt. There is, all the districts that are asked for. Again, the visuals are tough, but all the districts that are asked for, the sandbox mode is complete and functions. Then the disasters, right? Like, look, if I do river flood, the river actually floods.
That's actually cool.
The cars can still drive.
Yeah.
It actually lets us see the cars, which we couldn't before, but the cars stay on the road. It put bridges over the river. I mean, there's like a lot of things that are quite impressive about this. If I do urban fire, right?
Let's see. Whoa!
Now this building's on. I guess I can move the camera over. Yeah. So now there's a fire over here.
Yeah.
Do a traffic jam. I don't know. I think it just decreases the speed of the cars.
No, it does feel like the bones are there. Like, again, I would imagine that the visuals are the easiest thing to iterate on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And whether it is truly just like a bug in a line of code or like a weird choice that it made. And so, I do see this being helpful, but
it's got all the weather we wanted. Let's get some snow. Hey. I can change the tax rate.
So the city's on fire. It's flooded. You put tax rate at 100%. It just sucks now. Terrible city.
I can send them into a recession.
Okay.
Yeah, and they did do some like, even though as we've been talking about, the visuals aren't as polished and there might be a bug, but like there's like, I don't know, these view switches are really polished and animated. Mm-hmm. I can go down to street view. So yeah, I mean, a mixed result for me on this one.
It's a cool like map you got down here of the districts and such.
Yeah, the map is solid. And then if I go to, okay, let's see. So we also do a challenge mode on this one, which we're generally looking for like, whereas the last one was supposed to be sort of No Man's Sky inspired as the challenge mode. Now we're looking at more of like a GTA inspired challenge mode. And in addition to asking for the full first person game GTA style, I also I gave it a screenshot of the current visuals and mentioned the dark mode problem and asked for a fix. And then this is the response we got. So it lightened things, but didn't add like color to it's all still like grayscale,
Mm-hmm.
Which was, I mean, other than the sky, it looks significantly better, but still not like what I was expecting, if that makes sense. Like I was still expecting some color on the buildings instead of it all being,
or at least like the cars and such. Like it's
yeah. But if we want to actually see it did a good job of preserving the various features, and I have to give it credit for this inspector it built. Like Anyways, but if we hide that, then we can go explore the city. So I'm the newest neighborhood coordinator in a living city. Walk the streets, meet residents, drive across town, take side jobs, and shape the city's future through a multi-act campaign. Let's begin the story here. Oh, interesting. Wait, do you see these arms?
Yeah, I see
It's
it.
ridiculous. But they do like kind of bob as I walk. Talk to Maya Chen. You made it.
Whoa.
Welcome to the city. Not the skyline, the life between the buildings.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Start at sunward outlook, see the whole place, and then come back and tell me what you notice. Some interesting writing. And it's still
we have meters as well.
Oh my god.
Oh, those are creepy.
They don't have arms, but they have like animated legs. And then it's still just like weirdly dark.
Hmm.
But I can cross the river. Like I don't know. Like there are elements of all these responses that it's particularly this one that are like the best we've seen, and then also things that are just real tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's fine that like the buildings are all the same color, but like there were trees the same color. Like it clearly was wrong on something.
Yeah, and I mentioned
well, the trees do have colored trunks, and then just
yeah, see?
Maybe that's why they need a city inspector or whatever your job is.
Yeah, I'm gonna inspect it, and it's too meta. Oh, we've got the mountains in the distance.
Maybe the storyline you like bring color back to the city.
That'd be the
street lamps are not great.
Isn't that interesting? When I look through the street lamps, I can like see the windows, which I can't see, and I mean, good for it for doing the windows. In some ways, this is like, man, if it just had the color and the lighting, this would probably be the best result we've ever had.
Like one of the Matrix.
Yeah, it's like alpha 0.1 of the Matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, but like that is it. Again, I know this is in some ways disappointing. You can, with a single prompt, get like an alpha version of a game.
Right.
And just not a bad thing.
I'm trying to find and like when there's light, it's not the word. And then that guy's all lit up. What is
that's
going
who
on?
we talked to. That was or someone else. I guess if they're lit up, you can talk to them.
Press P to near a photo objective to capture it. I love how my first objective is just to like take in the city, but then also
wait, also is your objective on reach or okay, you figure out what direction to go.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
Nope.
It's if it just didn't have this like grayscale problem, so interested to see like how it would do like because you can see the like the trees and the little park thing next to the like houses.
Little objective.
Oh, I'm here.
It's also funny to have something called an overlook with 0 elevation.
Right. Oh. This is hilarious. I hate that I'm like looking out the left side of the car.
Well, yeah. It's an interesting decision.
I don't know if, and I'm guessing you guys can't hear the sound, but there's like ridiculous car sounds happening.
We can't hear the sound.
It does not sound like a car.
I mean, I see what I was going for. I'm just running into stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, this is like almost a great result.
Yeah. This one has been more than whelmed.
Yeah, I'm more than whelmed, but I'm like disappointed.
Yeah, it's close. This is like, again, I think, as Dan was saying, like the bones are there, right? Yeah. Like it's got the intelligence to get everything. It had the ability to kind of think about like what a proper game might look like.
It also chose kilometers per hour, which is interesting.
Nice.
Oh my god, dude, they're trying to make the EU happy.
Yeah,
What's going
Kiwi
on?
loves that.
Kiwi loves that.
How many meters long is a rugby pitch? I don't know. Is that Kiwi stuff?
I don't know. Who knows?
I think it's 100.
100 odd meters.
Just based on what the two of us are hearing, like that's gonna be another huge hurdle is like sound design for games.
Oh yeah,
because you can obviously these models have seen a ton of screenshots and videos of games, but to like have enough context and knowledge to do like good sound effects or voice acting or whatever, like that's
when they might need to enlist like other specialized models, like the speech generation.
Yeah, I was
sound effect.
Voice might be like one of its strengths, right? Because they're doing that in parallel. But everything else, right? Like you could have like, studio quality voice acting, and then you have that car sound or a gunshot. It's like just terrible. Like it's immersion breaking to say the least.
Right. Do we want to give it feedback on this?
We'll do one round. I think I would just say like fix grayscale, please. Like
please.
We can do Kaikal's thing of saying cinematic 4K HDR masterpiece, texturized. Make no mistake.
Okay. Please. Interesting. Let's.
Yeah, I want it to look like that. Like, what was the PlayStation like Spider-Man game that was like the beautiful New York City?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it had more of a name than that.
That's fair.
Okay, let's see. City generator. So I'll do this.
And just to confirm, this is still GPT 5.6 Pro, right?
I think I'll knock it down from Pro so we don't have to sit here for another hour, but
cool.
Oh man. It's a little slow.
How are folks in chat liking the new Codex / ChatGPT merge? I don't know what magic they did to converge the apps. I was kind of impressed. And Jacob, have you been using it the last day or so? I haven't actually used that many prompts on it. It's just been using it.
Yeah, I don't know. Between all the reasonings and all the models, there's many of these, and then I feel like it burns my codex quota more quickly, and then on the really hard problems, I haven't felt it take a huge step. So I don't know. I'm whelmed.
Okay, good.
I think it's going to be much better at day-to-day engineering when you find the model reasoning sweet spot, and specifically on cost. So it's non-sexy good things, but I haven't had moments where I'm whoa, you know what I mean?
I just realized I need to update presumably my ChatGPT app, right? Because the whole thing was supposed to be can you get ChatGPT work on the phone app, basically?
Yeah, work is in the phone app. I just saw that.
So work is in the phone app. I'm trying to check now. I at least get the work.
What is work optimized for? Just business agentic stuff?
Yeah.
It's
Codex for
but this is the thing they were saying it has Codex technology. I'm what does that mean? So GPT
it means it's literally Codex.
Right. But they definitely have a branding problem right now where they're kind of collapsing these terms, and people know it's so you just mean Codex. It's no, actually it's Codex technology because it's an agent, and we're what? So I wish they would just be more clear of hey, we're just merging these two apps, that's it, don't worry about it. And some people in Codex, the desktop app, it's the work drop down and the Codex drop down. I'm still confused if there's any meaningful difference with that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then so John Doe in chat said it's super unclear what the drop down between work and Codex does.
Yeah,
I don't think it does. I mean, it might swap some system prompts in the background and some suggested prompts. I think that's it. I don't think it swaps anything else. And then John Doe also said it's weird not having a normal vanilla chat UI. It's sort of there, but not. Tebow, I think that's his name, right? The Codex OpenAI guy said that was a regret, and they're going to put chats back in the sidebar and let you open chats again. Right now, it's you can hit new chat and you can get a limited list of your previous chats, and it's bad UX. I can't imagine how it ever got there. The only thing I can think of is they wanted to push people to use work / Codex quota, and so chats were deprioritized. But anyways, okay, I'm setting off the feedback.
Sweet.
I'm doing this one on high. I really don't think this should need that much.
No.
Yeah, and then do we want to give any, while I'm in here, do we want to give any feedback on the planet? Make it an actual planet? I mean, I don't know. That seems like it requires Pro to...
Maybe it's better if we just... Part of me is like, is Pro just like token wasting? You know?
I mean, it could be. Like, yeah, I'll try giving the feedback on planet on a less high residue. Or maybe I'll do like extra high, not Pro. We'll see.
Just be like, go check the Feature Crew YouTube channel and go make a planet that they would be impressed with. And just see how it works.
Right.
Yeah, upload all your videos.
No, it should website, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be able to. It's not going to be able to get very much from web search.
True.
It needs like that, like YouTube transcription get API or whatever.
True.
That would help it.
When the model says, "Bruh, I need to make a little Python script to transcribe this stuff," then I'm like, "Oh damn, it's over."
Okay, let me give this feed. Well,
MMA Hulk did say, like, without trolling, like, it's good. Like, bit of water is probably a good idea to ask for because it seems to be painted on. So, bit of water, bit of fidelity.
Okay, yeah. So, okay. Slot prompting. We'll put that one on extra high. Great. Okay, so City and Planet both have feedback queued up, and then we have a bunch of other results here that we can look through in the meantime. So one prompt that I've been running recently, and I'm not sure if we've showed on the channel, is part of building a full, procedural space game is getting your buildings and your spaceships to all have procedural interiors. And so this is sort of a difficult problem, and I've been having models focus directly on this problem and do what I've been calling like a structure lab, where there's a bunch of different structures and it sort of generates the interiors for them. And so that's what I asked 5.6 Pro to do here. So you can see that it within this outer wireframe, it sort of filled it with an interior structure, but not like it didn't fill it perfectly, right? I think it's unclear to me if this is like a scale problem or if it just decided not to fill the full outline. Maybe it's the latter. But you can see that there's like obviously space for more rooms out here, right? But what I am impressed by, and what only really Fable was also able to do, this is like, I would call this response comparable to Fable's, not directly, not strictly better, not strictly worse. They both have different strengths, but it was able to build like a navigable interior with different rooms. Let's see if we can get into first person here. I'm not sure if the first person controls actually work. Fables didn't either. But yeah, so I can like go upstairs and like get from room to room, and and then I can teleport, I guess, between floors. So it's like actually navigable and fairly coherent. It has a lot, and so then we can switch to other. Let's see. This is the real. Okay, so that was a small house, and so then if we switch to a larger outpost, right, it's got like more floors. Again, each floor having an interior. It put doors on every floor, which is probably not like building code, but it's sort of interesting. And it did give us some interesting controls here where like you can you can up the hull opacity, so then you can see like the sort of outer hull of the building, and that really makes it more clear like which areas are unfilled, right? Like over here is sort of empty. And then if we want to do the x-axis cutaway, we can cut away part of the hull. So like some of these tools that it put in the playground were cool. You can also select just an individual deck. See what it's, or floor, I guess in this case. So yeah, this so far like was a solid result. It was like comparable to Fable. I did kind of like it's like the way it did these ships, right? Gave it like a little like a taper at the front, some engines at the back, and was kind of able to fill them with rooms, sort of. And then if we go to a bigger ship, right?
Looks
more
pretty decent,
right? More decks, and it's like more of an interior than you'll get in a ship in really any game that I've played. Yeah. So it's cool to see it be able to push that, and for the most part be navigable. Like you've got issues where this like staircase is just taking up a huge part of the deck and makes that hallway back there inaccessible. But you know, for the most part, not so bad. A small orbital hub. Also not too bad. I like that it's got these like coherent hallways sort of branching out. Makes it more navigable. And then the large ring complex. Not bad.
Not bad.
Okay. So then let's see. So then the one that we did show on the Fable stream was like a similar like focused procedural generation test, but in this case it was on sort of like biomes and terrain and props. It was like water and flora, I believe I called it. So this was its attempt at like the water and flora infinite world. So it's like digging out rivers. It did this. It's okay. The water shader is okay. What I did like about this one is it actually gave a little bit of like movement to some of these plants, which Fable did not do. And then we can zoom out and see how, like Fable, it's quite snappy. I made performance a big emphasis of the prompt, so it's like loading new chunks and instancing.
We're not seeing any more water.
We seem to have run out of water. I think it's because it sort of hand defines the rivers. So then if we go to that wasn't even the river valley.
Whoa.
Okay, maybe there's
just as like one iteration.
Just one.
Yeah, it seems like water is not part of the procedural generation. It's a good call.
This looks pretty good.
This looks good,
like,
yeah. Wow.
It's cool that it changed the color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And has like different shapes of the water for different things.
This looks like it's more procedurally generated. Yeah. So this is
this one.
For some reason, it looks like if you go back, like there's like one river defined. Probably, I'm assuming it's going to be for all the different like biomes or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know where it was, but there's just a very straight line river, and then the.
I mean, it is snappy. I'll give it that. Look at that.
This looks honestly.
Oh, there's your river.
There's the river. Yeah, I think it always says that. This is not. It's pretty good. And it's HTML, single HTML.
Yeah, this is single HTML.
Yeah.
And this is the one people were really impressed at the Fable version of this prompt. I was as well. Like I liked it quite a bit. I think I liked how Fable did the water a little bit more.
I mean, I kind of like the ripples it's going for here, like kind of going around the like grass and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like the implied like deeper sections are really
it's really nice.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good.
The reeds in the water.
And then if we go to are there more? Coastal ocean edge.
Very like RuneScape.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like I wonder if it meant to do the water shader kind of like that. I don't know. The water shader is like a little bit. It's like it tried, you know.
I do like that the waves are going perpendicular.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
I should be able to find the Fable one here if you want to see the. So this was Fable's response, which I like. I liked how it did the sort of stylized low poly texturing on the terrain. I liked how it did the tree placement better.
I was gonna say it has more like diversity amongst like I feel like in the other one every chunk kind of looked the same.
Yeah,
this like does switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, and then if we switch to one that has water, let's see the river valley. Oh, this was before it got fixed. So to give GPT credit, Fable screwed up the water on the first attempt, and I had to fix it manually. And then, but GPT's one shot was truly one shot. There was no fixing going on. I don't know if I have easy access to the. One second. Let's see if I can figure this out. Here we go. Okay. So here.
So this is the fixed Fable version.
Fixed Fable version. And I really liked the water on this one.
Pretty sick on the coastline.
Yeah. I like how it kind of has the foam. I like how it did the...
And again, it feels like, I don't know the right word, but it feels kind of like intentionally low poly.
Yes, stylized low poly.
Yeah, like the water in some ways is worse than the other ones, but like it kind of emphasizes what matters when you zoom. I think that's like the classic like old video game thing is like the more you zoom out, kind of the better it looks. And I feel like this one captures that. I mean, the shaders are obviously a little. Oh, those are.
So that you're kind of seeing reflections on the waves. Like
the waves are quite geometric.
Yeah, they are. It's just, I think it's just like sine waves, like interference. But yeah, no, this one I thought was like, so this as a starting point to then tweak and use in a game, like you could actually see like a cozy game with water that looks
also,
like this.
Also, because like placing the lily pads and stuff only by the shore, like there's some cool details there where like, clearly it was doing some sort of probabilistic thing.
Let's see if we can get the equivalent. Oh, this is the same one. So if I zoom out, no, that's Lakeshore, coastal ocean large. Yes, there were some weird artifacts. So this is, I think, the river thing that it was like putting a river in, and it was screwing with however it did the river and the shader. But like
again, those islands look pretty good and like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're both. I mean, to give them both credit, they're both.
The palm trees despawn before the pines do.
No, the palm trees turn into pines at Lower Lod. That was
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. Okay.
Both are pretty good.
Both are pretty
Honestly,
solid.
We should make a post about this. Like both comparisons are quite cool, and this kind of demonstrates, I think, more the intelligence of these models, right? To kind of figure some of this out and start to have like a good taste as well.
Yep.
And on that, like most recent, it'd be interesting to look at like, because obviously like the weirdness out in the water could be interpreted as like some sort of ocean current. Was it trying to do that, or was it just a visual? Like it's right. We always can, like we as humans can find patterns and find like you could say, oh, like I've seen oceans that kind of look like this. Yeah. Was it going for that, or is this just truly like, two different things colliding in a weird way?
And this is the problem with like current alignment. You ask the model like, did you do this on purpose? You have no idea whether it's going to be sycophant or not, right?
Yeah.
Like it could say like, I had no idea, but like the chances like, you're so right. I did it.
You're so right.
Yes.
Right. Like, so then you're just like, okay, I guess we have to like go manually look for the code and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, folks. I do have to head off for dinner now. So appreciate it. I will excitedly look at the last few results as well. I'm looking forward to seeing if it does hit textures on the black and white grayscale city sim challenge.
We will see, won't we?
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
See ya. Yeah. So we've got a couple more results to go through. Okay, that was what we were just looking at. Interesting. Okay, so this is our UI test that we've been running. We asked for this paper 3D design system and for it to put together like a bunch of components to use. It should look like a front end libraries UI components site, documentation site where it kind of showcases the components. And so you can look back. We've done this for the last couple of models. But in this case, so it should be both inspired by paper and add 3D elements. That's the prompt essentially. And so it starts as always sort of with colors and some typography, spacing. It's good, expected. Then then it starts to get into some of these like component concepts and how it's going to treat cards and how, this is a raised card, editorial content with the little corner folded collection of layers. This is pretty solid. I would say like just like my initial reaction to this is it's like one of the better ones we've seen. It's funny because I wrote this paper 3D prompt with a completely different thing in mind. I can show like yeah, I can this is kind of what I had in mind, where it's like newspapery but with 3D elements, right? But all of the models have taken into this like more cartoony paper direction. So it's just interesting to see. But it's got some cool concepts here. I think it's got this. These are some standard components. It does the same colored edge as every AI model does, but at least in this case, it's a little bit more like fitting the theme.
It does seem like a lot of the theme colors are consistent throughout and like semi-intentional at least.
Somewhat, yeah. It's like it's like crayons or I don't know.
It's nice that it didn't just do like a white background. I don't know if you asked for that, but like it has like a fun background.
And it also, you can choose. There's somewhere where you can. Oh, here we can see the toast or not. Oh, that's in the bottom right. Yep. And then we can see the modal. So you put like a pin to like stay in theme. Okay, here's what I was talking. So you can change the color.
Oh, interesting.
So they called this one Blueprint, I think.
Yeah.
Had some names for them. Yeah, Blueprint maybe.
Yeah, and I wouldn't automatically peg this as like AI. This like it feels like some like undergrad comp sci project.
Yeah.
Like
it's got a little bit of like Club Penguin vibe, UI vibe to it, where they kind of went for like 3D on the UI and made it look drawn a little bit.
Yeah, and they went very like cozy, very like user friendly.
Big buttons. Oh yeah, so we can also switch to I guess recycled board. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and then there are some cool. I just wanted to call it. There were like some cool things it did. Where like, if I click on one of these colors, it copies the hex code. So like it added some functionality to the site that's actually kind of useful. Limited, and it wasn't in the prompt. It just kind of like intuited that would be useful. Copy starter tokens. This is kind of cool. And then we've also done a follow up. So like in addition to this. Again, because I wanted these like 3D hero things, we've gone and asked specifically for 3D, so we can switch back to the first. And it did this kind of, I don't know, it's like there's the theme of today with 5.5 Pro is like everything's like washed out and pastel, and like the lighting and coloring, it's like really struggling with, which is interesting.
It's like, what was that like Fall Guys, that game that was big a couple years ago? It's very like kind of like goofy, but like. But again, it does feel, I mean, that also like kind of feels like the current marketing landscape is very pastel and like, I don't know.
Can replay the fold. I like the little controls it gave. This was cool. I wasn't like blown away by the actual animations. They're better than we've seen in the past, I think.
And it's a little awkward, like the overlap between like the text and the animation, like it doesn't.
It's going for like
like
landing page stuff.
But I feel like if you're gonna go for that, you need to be a bit more intentional. Like the last one you showed, there's like the flat page. It was like that one felt a bit more polished.
Yeah.
Like again, I would believe that someone spent some time on this, whereas this one, like again, it has some cool elements. It does feel a bit more like thrown together.
Yeah,
but.
This part is fine. It's like starts getting into some of the,
but it's not bad.
Some of the and then you can change the color again. You can see the continuous signal visualization, I guess. A continuous fold it was going for. This is supposed to look like folded paper.
It's a little off.
7 folds, 3 signal states, 1 continuous strip. Like it's so funny. And then I guess this one's like a dashboard, like a sort of dimensional dashboard. This might, I don't know. The motion's not as interesting on this one, but the actual layout is sort of coherent.
Again, it's fairly coherent between like the different options, and
It's changing the material on some of these things. Like, there are things that I like. This might be the best 3D paper we've seen. Not sure. I'd have to look at the other ones. They all take it in a different direction, which is kind of the interesting thing about these creative ones. Where like the UI system is already a little bit creative, but I've seen more convergence on that piece, and then the 3D paper hero visualization piece is like much more varied.
I was thinking in some ways, like I've seen and I've played a lot of video games, and so it's easy for me to like really quickly like judge if it's a good video game, which is kind of a lot of the other prompts that you guys are doing. For this, it's like, what is a good landing page for something is way more up in the air. Do you want it to seem just like tight and professional? Do you want it to seem like this is kind of going a bit more wild and wacky? Like there is just more room for, I don't know, it's harder to judge like what is good versus bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably easy to judge when something is just bad, but it's hard to say. Like, because again, if you, whatever like the general prompt is, there's a world where like you want this, and there's also a world where you want this, and there's like one or the other isn't necessarily better.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like in the games, like there are a lot of specific things that you can point to at being better or worse.
Right. And then this, actually, I want to call out that I don't know how it did this.
Oh, does that actually work?
No, but for these, like, where did these images come from?
Oh yeah.
Did it like SVG those out? Oh my god.
On each.
Wait.
It's like rendering each rectangle, or each.
So the whole thing is a button of class study card.
Okay.
And then it's just a bunch of spans, and
like that's just like one of the.
This is fascinating. It did these manually. And this is super impressive.
That's pretty coherent to like not have any mistakes, to have the angles like actually like look like that. That looks like a piece of folded paper.
These look like illustrate. Like I didn't. It's funny because I didn't even like point at them because they look like illustrations you would see on a site. Right. Like these look like real illustrations. These might be the most impressive part of the whole UI challenge here. Yeah, I mean, wow. Gotta give it to it. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna check. That was the last one I had ready to go. I'm gonna check and see. Oh, right. See the progress on our pending prompts. And we have an answer from the city. It's gonna take a second to load. The ChatGPT app can no longer handle the length of HTML file that it's spitting out.
Yeah.
Fold equals transition. Stack equals architecture. Tab equals wayfinding.
There is still just that like that AI language, the buzzwords, and I mean it's not too far off of a lot of like.
Well, they kind of get in character, which this is what I like. It almost feels like a comedy sketch where it's like over committing to the bit of like you're a designer, and it's like, all right, this is what designers would say. And it's specifically with this, I think it's funny because I think designer language is hilarious. Like
the product is the sculpture.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all like metaphorical.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's actually interesting. It's just like what do we have to hear, right? Oh.
everyone's off the call.
Right.
LinkedIn energy, 100%.
Yep.
Well, that's like the on a slight aside on that, I feel like there is just this like you see it a lot on LinkedIn, and now it's permeating to some other things of just like the really like short sentence structure, like the boom, boom, boom. And I feel like, I mean, again,
lists. It's like lists.
Yes. Yeah. And it has a lot of usage in like marketing and whatever, where like you just want to get your ideas across quickly. But I do feel like I've noticed a slight change in a lot of the models. Like I feel like early on, some of them would be a bit rambly in their sentence structure, and now a lot of them are transitioning to more of the kind of like bullet-ish point kind of.
Yeah, there was a big swing towards bullets, and then I think people got sick of the bullets, and so now it's like trying to find the balance. But yeah, there's also a lot of like it's not blank, it's blank. You know, we were talking about this offline earlier. That I think Twitter recently has has felt like it's falling to the dead internet theory.
Yeah.
Where it's different than LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn feels like every post is written by AI, but it's actually a human instructing the AI.
Yes.
And then they're posting it.
Yeah.
Right? Like whereas Twitter recently has started to feel like every reply is AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that they're optimized in different, like some of them are like the system prompt was like be controversial. Yeah. Some of them like the system prompt was like agree with everything, and it's just, but I just so commonly feel like I see these replies now where I'm like, that's AI, right? Like it's,
well, I think all the
it's a different type of stupidity.
The Russian bots were like a couple of years ahead of their time.
yeah.
Like, because again, we're gonna reach the day really soon where it's gonna be much harder and harder to tell. Because like, I feel like I use Reddit a fair amount, and like, yeah, you go to a lot of like the posts that pop off and a lot of the comment sections, and it is truly just like slop. But also, it kind of was 10 years ago. Like, I don't think it's actually changed a whole lot in terms of like, I think a lot of people on the internet just say dumb canned stuff, regardless of if it's a human or if it's an AI or whatever.
It can be hard to parse. Like, okay, is this an idiot human, or is this like some agent that's like partially hallucinating? Sometimes hard to tell.
Yeah.
Did we get this response? It's like slowly loading in the whole thread again, and
yeah.
But we do have a response on the city. It's just taking a while for the chat interface to actually load the response. Was it John Doe who said before, or Der Straber? One of you guys said like, "Oh, we're hitting the limits of HTML." We are definitely hitting the limits of HTML.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see like how it does if you want to build out like. I mean, again, and I feel like a big future case that I'm sure a lot of people are already working on is like just putting one of these models into Unity and kind of putting it in a sandbox.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of what I was working on with the Gizmo plug for Gizmo 3D. You can install it on npm now for free, open source, and it's basically a lightweight 3D environment for the agents to operate in, so they can add things to the 3D environment. It's saved. They can inspect it either visually or taking a look at the actual numbers behind the mesh and all that sort of stuff, and get some cool results.
No, because like if you're not, because I'm sure that it spent so much time on these prompts of just like making trees and making buildings and stuff, and those things exist. Like if you're in an environment where like you have all of those kind of just like ready to go. Okay. See some color.
Okay, we have a response on the city. Let's get this up. Finally, some color. I mean, still not like the cars are still like very dark. I just don't understand how it. I mean, from certain angles.
Well, I wonder. I feel like also now adding the color like is showing some of the other issues. Like the arms are.
I think
different.
the arms. I thought they were always kind of colored.
No, they were, but now they're more round. They went from like true Minecraft arms to slightly less Minecraft arms.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and the thing that I would want to see is like, if you'd given the same update prompt to Pro or whatever, would it actually be different?
Right.
Would it have done more? You're also now looking out the front.
No, I'm looking at the back.
Oh, so it's probably just whatever orientation you get in.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. If I wait for one to come, you gotta get strategic. I mean, hey, at least we can see things now.
No, that's fair. The trees are green. The mountains are green. Is the water water? Is the water an invisible wall?
There does seem to be that.
I mean, that's one way to just fix water physics.
Yeah, I can't even get in.
I don't think we have high opinions of this in the chat.
We've got Kaikao says,
Would you guys pay $60 for this game?
Games are 70 now, man.
Well, but we're still in alpha.
You're getting left behind. Kai Young, I have lived here long enough to remember when this block was just a parking lot. You know
who talks like that?
Honestly, New Yorkers.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Take a breath. It really took that
That's
cozy
really
game
funny.
thing.
Yeah, the pause menu. It's that's cool. Like it says like your progress is saved local. Like it's has some interesting elements of.
It's like thinking through some. Oh, look at the sun go.
And this does. There were, I feel like a couple years ago, like during COVID, there were a ton of those like 3D low poly like .io games. And this does feel really in that vein of like it prioritizes certain things, it deprioritizes others. Soviet dystopia.
Der Straver, come
there would not be
taking off the gloves. Okay, maybe it's the opposite of where you're looking.
Oh goodness, we're gone.
I guess he goes slower when you. There's fog rolling in. I can't see where I'm going.
Oh, is that the sun just like cooking through the sky?
Nah, that's the moon, man.
It's the moon. Luna.
It's Luna. Luna's cooking.
I guess that's interesting. Like if it programs in a really short day-night cycle, you kind of do need your celestial bodies moving quite quickly.
Although not the moon. Well, sort of.
How does the moon move?
Nah, I mean the moon is like.
Any astronomers in chat?
The moon's like the sun. It's okay. Sorry. Don't correct me on that.
So the moon's producing its own light.
Like my point is that the dominant cause of the moon's motion through the sky on any given night is the rotation of the Earth. That's what I meant.
But it's in vastly different positions, like than the sun.
Yes. Because the motion of the Earth relative to the sun is a lot slower than the moon relative to the Earth. A year versus a month, basically. And
he's doubling down on his Soviet comment. Hey, we're not gray. We got bright blue.
Wears the same clothes. I mean, Der Straver, you're right. The days move quick.
Is that a Soviet?
I don't know.
I think the days move slow.
Move slow, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. And in the gulag. I think they blend together, though, I would imagine.
Oh, that's cool to like take a lower model and iterate until you hit the same amount of time or tokens as the higher one and see which one does better.
Yes.
Like what's better reasoning or better iteration?
Or even forgetting about pro, like Terra versus what I really want to see is Terra versus Soul.
Right. On
like a matrix. Terra, Soul, low, high.
Yeah.
And see the responses for various tests, because whenever these new things come out, a normal model release, okay, now I've got like 4 reasoning degrees on the new model. I have to figure out like what's equivalent to what I used to use, and then where do I want to like actually pump it up from whatever I decide the baseline is. Now we've 3 models, 5 reasoning levels each, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, what do I use for a given task?
And it like how close is like Soul low versus like Terra high? Like
yeah.
What, like I don't know. I feel like there again, as we have all these different options, like because you used to just be that like, okay, 5 is supposed to be better than 4, but now there's all these like this matrix of options. Like what tasks are different ones better at? Because again, I mean, and as with any field, like we also need a big update to the benchmarking, because things are getting so convoluted. And I think we were talking earlier a bit about like just like, I don't know, benchmark maxing. Like I'm sure that the companies are aware what the benchmarks are and can hard code those in, not actually, but
and OpenAI and Anthropic don't do that so much. I mean, there's obviously benchmark maxing cases. I've always found Gemini and Grok to be more because their incentives are more aligned to that. They're behind. They're trying to look good when they come out.
And I wonder if Anthropic had to do some of that early on to get the market cap that they have now. Because that's, I mean, so for context, I'm in the sciences, and I've seen a huge migration from OpenAI to Anthropic of a lot of my colleagues. And I think some of it is kind of political and philosophical. I think OpenAI in some circles has kind of gotten like the big tech kind of like, people think they're like evil or whatever.
Which is always so funny to me, because Anthropic is also a $1 trillion company.
Yes.
And like Anthropic is also like like, I don't know, if I was like an effective altruist, I would have been an Anthropic fan early on.
Yeah.
And then as they showed that the effective altruism was like confused or incomplete or often pushed aside for self-serving reasons, I would hate them even more. So I don't know.
Right. And also like OpenAI,
yeah.
OpenAI went through the same thing where at first they were a very like academic company. They were open source or at least like partially, and then they became one of the biggest companies in the world.
Which people hold against OpenAI. Meanwhile, Anthropic has never open sourced
No.
anything. Right. So, or sure, like the Claude CLI or whatever, but not a model.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's always the perception thing. That's why it's for me. It's always just down to like who's got the best
And
model,
I think,
and really who's got the best product, because the best product will make me use I'm not sure the exact percent, like what percent worse can a model be where I will use the better product,
right,
with the better features
like,
and such.
me, as someone who again is less into this, like I know that Codex works really well in my VS Code, and it answers my questions well, and it writes code that is good enough for my purposes, and so like I have no desire to switch. Plus, they've just been, I don't know if it's like model optimization or what it is, but like I feel like that they've maybe upped the number of tokens you get on the subscription or whatever, because like I'm finding that I'm running out less and less. Also, because I have to iterate less as it gets better.
Hey, this is kind of New York coded. Got to keep it moving. Keep the city moving. Keep our city moving, baby. All right. We're still waiting for this. I have to say, Extra High on the Planet has been cooking.
Yeah. So I would be interested if people in chat want to respond of like kind of what are your daily uses for these models? Are you using it for work, for school, for just like personal building stuff?
And then even maybe more than that, what is like the domain?
What's the domain?
Yeah, is it coding? Is it like science research?
Yeah, because I'm in like I'm in a field where like we're writing code, but we're not optimizing code, and so it's perfect for that because I don't need it to be super fast or super like well written or secure. It just needs to like do simulations and whatever.
All right, so Ted Keller, this is not yet an answer to your question, but the voice is not transcribing for most interactions in my test. It's very good at picking out tone, gender, age, emotion.
Else a little while ago who was like watching back said the same thing.
See, this is interesting because
I feel like we need someone, if it's us or like some other people, to like kind of A/B test it. Like,
okay,
to actually wait. Well, okay, I guess we can.
Here. Devin, think of like something to hum, like a highly recognizable melody.
Dude, hey Jude.
For you, this is
I'm
you.
not.
You're the singer.
I'm being called out. Well, I feel like you should do it in Spanish. You should do a good pronunciation in Spanish or German, and do a bad pronunciation, and ask it like which is better.
Yeah, but that's so not, like, can you identify the tone?
Okay, well, you go first.
Me? You're the singer. He's a singer. He sings in front of audiences.
Yeah, but this is being recorded. It's scary.
Yeah, so the Hikers was recorded. I mean, the camera like fell over. And shit,
yeah, that's
fair. I mean, the easy thing you can also take your phone and just play it. Like,
okay, let's do that. Are you guys gonna get like copyright stricken?
But don't. Let's think for a second. Oh, we're also open to thinking in chats. How do we? Okay, SpongeBob SquarePants song.
Dude,
are you ready, kids?
Well, the problem is anything with lyrics it can do.
Yeah. That's the problem. And so even with the Hey Jude thing, it even got it just because nah.
One thing you could okay, no, here's an interesting test. Well, but that's also the problem is like we're getting away from like actual voice stuff. Because one thing you could do is you could play like some piano piece and ask it like what style of music is this? Would it identify as Baroque versus classical versus whatever? But
you could play piano cover of common song.
But then like, I mean, is the model at all promising to be able to do that? That's a pretty niche thing.
Well, it's just promising to have general understanding of audio. So like I mean, it should absolutely be able to, like, if we say,
okay,
so
You guys recognize this song?
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Wait. What's that called? Name that tune.
Name that tune. Yeah.
Name that tune on the first
So the
couple
chat
notes.
will play along with the GPT voice.
Okay. Wait. Let me first give it a. Shoot. I switched it. I was experimenting when I switched it back to the old version, so I need to change it back to live. I'm glad they did that color change on the orb.
Oh, that would be another good prompt.
Okay, so we're gonna play Name That Tune. We are gonna play a piano version of of a popular song, and you are going to try to name it. So whenever you're ready, does that sound good?
Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, so just from the intro, I'm getting something minor key, kind of brooding, steady left hand rhythm. Feels like a pop ballad on piano. Give me the next phrase or a hint of the melody. Okay. That turn is nagging at me. Feels modern pop, not like classic rock or a standard.
It's so clear.
Just a touch more. Still on the tip of my tongue. The harmony is familiar, but I need that hook.
The hook is playing right now.
Huh? I'm not quite catching that. Give me one more pass of the hook.
I mean, that melody is pretty clear.
It might be something I'd recognize with lyrics, but just from this line.
Yeah, of course, lyric. Okay, yeah, that's
Okay, it did get the genre correct of
yeah,
like modern pop ballad.
But that I'm not sure if that was lucky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's fair.
And when I've like okay, what I did last night was like just like hummed the national anthem,
Yeah.
and it was like I just see like you know.
That's interesting.
This is why I've really tried to figure out if this thing has actual audio understanding, and as far as I can tell, I've never had convincing evidence that it does. I've had some moments where it's like, oh wow, you got that, and then when I actually push it, so I don't know. This I guess it's an open question.
Yeah. Oh. What?
And so, okay, so the prompt John Doe suggested, I'm going to say these words, ask me which one I said in an excited tone, a sad tone, etc. Sad might be better. Sometimes, like, if it truly is a transcription model, and you say something in an excited tone, the transcription model might have enough understanding of tone to put an exclamation point, in which case then it can, in the transcription, answer which one was excited. Does that make sense? And then Der Stripper said it likely chose the most statistically likely thing. Okay, so
That's fair.
I can
a piano cover of something. It's probably a modern pop ballad,
right? And we did say
yeah.
And I said a recognizable song. I did piano cover.
Yeah,
so it's not going to be a piano cover of Beethoven's Fifth. Like
right.
You wouldn't call it that. Anyways, okay. So we can do. I can do John Doe's suggestion. What should we do? Because excited, I'll do excited, but I think that one's hackable. Also, a question would be hackable. Sad is a little bit less hackable.
Suggest what John Doe just said of like, be like, okay, I'm gonna say 10 words. A couple of them are gonna be in an accent. Like, tell me which one. I don't know. Maybe like just changing like the intonation of like some like
Oh, it definitely doesn't get accent. So whether that's proof or not, I've done many a test and it doesn't get accent. I think we can just do like, I'll just do like it's raining outside in excited, like in different tones, and we'll see.
Because the other thing we could do is like we could like one like A/B test we could do is we could open up Siri, and on Siri you can make it talk in different accents, and so we could have it say the same generic phrase, and we could see if it could identify like one thing you could do is like listen to this twice, what's different, or then ask specifically like about accents. Because again, you don't want to give it like if I pulled like a British person talking about soccer, I might guess that it's British because they're talking about soccer or whatever.
Right.
But if we can just like have like one common phrase being said in different accents, can it pick up on it? I don't know. That'd be interesting. Yeah, John Doe, can you send us a audio file of you speaking in different accents?
Should we just let's just try with the tone because that's probably the easiest way to give it a okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so let's see. I'll do excited, sad, I don't know, defeated. I'll just sort of improv. We'll see what happens. And it's raining outside is going to be the sentence. Okay, I want to test your ability to recognize tone. I'm going to give you the same line in a bunch of different tones, and then afterwards you're going to identify in order which is what tone. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Go ahead whenever.
Okay, we have it's rating. Let's see. We have sarcastic as an option in the chat. Thank you, John Doe. Okay. Let's do it. It's raining outside. It's raining outside. It's shoot.
Take your time.
How do you do it's raining? Yeah, it's raining outside. Sarcastic?
So first one sounded upbeat, right? Maybe cheerful, maybe excited. The second one, softer, quieter, more like calm, content, or maybe reflective. And then the third one definitely had some heavier vibes. Maybe frustrated, maybe a little sad. I feel like what you were going for.
It's like close enough that I don't know.
Yeah, I do like this suggestion of like we each speak and can tell that we're different people.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, okay, we should pull up a list of like random words, and then we like, I guess I don't know. We can't like necessarily do it in like an order, but we each say like some number of them, and we see if it can sort who's saying what. Because I feel like our voices are. Any human could tell them apart. We don't sound the same.
We don't sound the same.
Okay, well.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we could just get like a little.
Or just pull up a generic sentence. You say it like 3 times. I'll say it twice. You say it once more, and we ask like, who said it which times.
Well, we can just do the it's raining outside.
Okay.
Okay, so now the next phase of the test is we are going to do the same phrase, but we're going to have 2 people saying it, and we're going to, between the 2 of us, say it, I don't know, a handful of times, and you're going to have to pick out which iterations were which person. And so you can just kind of go like person A, person B, since it's a mystery to you who they are. How does that sound?
Maybe. Sounds good.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside. It's raining outside.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside.
All right, I think I got it. person A, person B, then person A, person B, and person A. Does that track?
I think that was right.
Wait, repeat that.
Sure. I had A, then B, A, then B, B, then A.
No, because you said it twice in a row. I didn't. So it got turned.
Hang on.
Yeah. Also, the first
Yeah.
time.
Here's what I
Shut
tracked.
up,
One was
Chad.
A.
So the first one, it said A, B, A, B, B, A. And then it said A, B, A, B, B, A. Okay, it said the same thing.
But we did A, B, A, B, A.
Yes, yes.
So it was close, kind of, but
yeah, but it also could have gotten it on random chance. This is
Yeah.
okay. I know this probably wasn't the most exhilarating test, but I really don't believe that it has. I mean, I've done so many tests and I've never been convinced, and like they're never conclusive either way. But
right. And again, I don't know exactly like what we're trying to test.
if it
And
can
so-
hear the audio instead of
Yeah.
seeing the text.
Huh.
I don't know. Or like maybe it just has a tenuous grasp on the audio. I don't know. I mean,
Or like again, like how is it? Because like maybe there was something in the transcription where like some vowel that we did was different, but on one of your goes it sounded more like me or something. Like
right. I would think, yeah. Hard to say.
yeah. Or if it's getting like volume or like cadence or speed or like what is it actually? And again, this is where like these models are quite opaque and like especially for something like this.
Right.
Like at least with any sort of text model, I know exactly what the input is because I typed
Right.
it. And I don't know exactly what happens to it, but it's much more obvious that like what my input is. And for this, is ChatGPT, is like the voice model getting access to the audio file or the transcription or some like annotated transcription.
Right.
I'm sure there are some audio engineers out there who could do some like weird stuff to like test it on a more like base level.
Right.
But then you'd also just be testing like the transcription if there is a transcription layer, which it does seem like people are quoting or citing some blog post where at least they were claiming that there isn't transcription before the model sees it. But
yeah, I still don't believe it, but I'll have to do more testing. I'll come back to y'all on that.
Yeah.
Okay. We do, while we were screwing around with that, we did get a new planet fall.
There's Trevor saying it'd be easier if we had a girl here.
It would be. A lot of things would be easier if we had a girl here.
I mean, we probably wouldn't be live streaming about AIs if we had a girl here, but
yeah, probably not. Hello. Okay. Okay. Here's our spherical planet.
Oh.
I like this like UFO situation.
Ooh.
Wait. I don't like that there's a map though.
Why not?
Because that implies to me that I can't just like fly to the.
Is that a planet?
But there are planets up there. There's one there. One there.
Do we have like creative mode flight?
No, I forgot I didn't put that in there. Okay, let's see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Like put me on this island. I mean, there's like
there
nothing.
There are other islands. Wait, if you look left, there is like something out there.
And it certainly looks spherical. I mean,
and the water is better. But you are very like high elevation on this island.
Yeah, this does seem like a manually. Oh, we also have this like weird shadow thing that happens. It's like.
Is that just because it's trying to make something like spherical?
So no,
geometric layers.
This has something to do with like calculating the. It's like rolling over every time. Like it's like it's a precision thing. I used to know actually what was going on, but I don't anymore. Current world, Alicia. It's a cool little UI it has. John Doe says this is worse. And Doge Driver asks if the trees are spawning back in. Yeah, I noticed the same thing. And yeah, okay, it looks like yes, they are.
But it's not like based on distance.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this isn't like not the best response.
But it did fix some.
But look at all these planets. I mean, there are some planets. There's crazy Z fighting going on the planets.
Yeah. Is it actually like orbiting?
It does look like it's actually orbiting, so I'll give it props on that.
But are we not in like a heliocentric system?
Well, according to this, we are. I mean, it doesn't mean it's orbiting us just because we see it moving.
that is fair.
Oh, there's the sun. Wait. Oh, wait, you can wait. Oh no, that's just because I was near that. Okay, what's going on here?
Is that our moon? Maybe.
Are we are we about to have an eclipse? Is that what's going on?
That'd be pretty. Okay, let's see how the eclipse physics work.
I figured if there's like motion going on. If I'm seeing this correct, there is, but we're kind of gonna miss the eclipse.
Yeah, we're gonna get a partial.
Yeah.
You guys are witnessing history right now. Oh, it's like changing.
Yeah, right?
It's like it's taking like a weird curved pattern. Oh.
Well, it doesn't mean it's. Oh.
Oh, interesting. You can see the shader on it now.
Uh-huh.
That's a little glitchy.
Then there's another planet up there.
But it might just be that the sun is also moving quick.
Eclipse physics. Hey, yeah.
We're thorough here. Huh. I mean, there's some cool elements to this.
Yes, but everyone in chat who's pointing out the specific issues, correct.
But isn't this like a real like halo you get around like celestial bodies with like the light bending from the gravity? I mean,
from the gravity. You're saying this is an Einstein ring?
Well, I mean, what else could it be? I'm giving it a lot of benefit of the doubt.
There is no way there's a relativity simulation going on right now
in a single HTML file. Why not?
I'm guessing that's supposed to be like an atmosphere or something.
That's fair.
But then you're right that because it's kind of bending. Like,
yeah,
what is going on?
Is that just like hard coded in of like? It'd be interesting to see if that disappears as it gets away from the sun. Like that'd be kind of a cool effect if there are like specific like light interactions.
Interesting. The problem with asking for like a bunch of gameplays, then like in order to do anything, I need to like grind.
Right.
It just inserts.
John Doe appreciates the general relativity testing. Yeah, so let's accelerate to near the speed of light and see what happens. Do you think the game was
What does it want me to make first? There's no way we're getting through this. It's just look how many things there are to craft. Like it's just not gonna happen. But we can open source this and put it online. I'll just start like running off in this direction for a while and see what happens. That'll be the
biome discovered seabed. All right, I mean this is like water physics.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised by that. It almost like I didn't ask for that in particular. No. It never does this.
I think sometimes you're just like walking along the bottom.
That's always what it is. Yeah. This is another one of those like some things about the response are impressive, some things are not. Giorgio had a name for what that glitch was with like the
rippling. I mean, it looks good for like sand.
For sand, it actually kind of work.
Makes sense. And there's the interesting like shelves here.
Yeah,
it's like very.
Yeah, like drops off.
Yeah. Well, this island is underwhelming, and then the things just disappearing in like some certain range is interesting.
Then reappearing. Then looking off to the. I mean, it's a big. It's kind of a big planet.
Wait, look back. Look back at the sun and moon. Interesting. But yeah, the halo still persists. That's a little silly.
Yeah, and I'm just not clear. What is that? The moon? Like, have we decided? And also, yeah, it is a sphere, right? Yeah, it looks like a sphere. It is just like it's pretty big. They made it pretty big. So it's hard to like. Often it makes like smaller spheres, and then it's very easy to see the curvature. Right? Because like when I get back up on this island, maybe it'll be a little easier to.
And it's so interesting because like the procedural generation was so good in those like limited tests. I feel like this, it just has to spend so much time on like the gameplay.
Well, and like it would require a lot of time on the actual doing the you know gravity and then the planet and how do you you're doing a bunch of like polar calculations for a lot instead of like easy that's Cartesian stuff. So anyways, we can okay, gotta pause here to look at this sunset and give it some props.
That ain't bad.
It's probably the best sunset. That's probably the best sunset we've seen in any of these responses. That's actually awesome.
Let's see how it actually progresses.
John Doe says the planet is 97% water. It does seem that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting darker. Got some like deep blues here. A little red and pink, little cloud. The water level is rising. Or is that just waves?
I think it was just little waves.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if we had like tidal systems.
Yeah, it's like
and the stars coming out?
Come out. Okay, I have to give the sky shader some credit here.
That is not a bad sky.
It was doing some real wow.
The water is still quite lit up, which is interesting.
It might be because the sun is still
like over here.
Don't pay too much attention to that.
But no, that looks pretty good.
I gotta give it some credit on the sky. And now those like night clouds. Yeah. I mean, hey.
Yeah, the little like. All right, so just if you look up.
Yeah, if you look up, it's fine. It's all good. Huh. Alrighty. Well, interesting. I mean, I don't know what our like end takeaway here is from all of this. It's that it's certainly not clearly better than Fable on these one-shot tests. It's also like, less expensive. Also, we were on pro mode, which, as Dylan was mentioning, might be long-term reasoning. I think the real takeaway is we need to like do some matrix tests of a bunch of the models on a bunch of the reasoning levels and kind of see what happens. When I get a chance, I will open source these responses that we got, because I think they're at least interesting to play around with and maybe to build off of if one has more time. Yeah, Devin, thoughts? Anything to?
No, I mean, I feel like you're obviously seeing like model to model is like less of a jump. Like I don't want to say that they're plateauing, but I'm sure that like, yeah, it's just like,
well, there's just less tasks for them to achieve, more,
and like these, none of them are like spectacularly failing. Like it used to be that you put it in, you wouldn't even get a coherent response on something like this, and so it's impressive that like, if you wanted to iterate on a game, you can have a pretty good start from a single prompt. And yes, I'm just excited to see where it goes and how like if these companies want to prioritize stuff like 3D rendering in the games and stuff, like how they actually go about that.
Yep. So we will, hopefully get a video out this week with some more 5.6 content, assuming we have time. And at the very least, we will see you all next week for the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining as always. Let me check chat and see if there's any. Yes, thank you, everybody, for joining as always. And we will see you soon.